Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be rating these professional athletes on their rapping ability, starting with Kobe Bryant himself. Very 90s, early 2000s booming type production, but I'm feeling it.
What I live for, basketball, beats and bras. From
okay.
To the pin and complete the package. All I date is actresses, the play is safe.
I don't know if that's true. Alright, there's no doubt that Kobe's got flow here. He's got a very comfortable delivery, and it sounds good. Although, like, lyrically, nothing super crazy. The flow also not super crazy, but this is kind of a theme of the 90s and early 2000s. They weren't doing anything super wild with their flows, productions, or anything like that quite yet. This is like more towards the beginning of hip-hop. Relative to like when this came out, I would say this is probably like a good B tier. If a bunch of other rappers on this list just start blowing them out of the water, then might have to get bumped down, or if everyone else sucks way more than that, he's gonna go up. For now, relative to what we've heard, B tier. Next is our kind of honorable mention. It's Iverson.
Hats off to the hardcore niggas, fuck the rest. My guess y'all useless, just talking music. Never mistake me for a fake MC. You got
He straight up has like a kind of smoother, syncopated flow that you didn't really hear a whole lot from the 90s, so this must have been a little refreshing just to catch that back in the day. Although the production is very similar, but the way he's writing the beat, pretty damn cool.
Y'all couldn't even grade us. So them bitch ass niggas y'all killing don't amaze. I'm spitting.
The only other thing that I have to say, his flow never changes. Like, it was cool at first, but it's a little taxing. I would say he's pretty close to Kobe, a little below, so he's like a B-. We don't have B-. Pretend like he's there. Next, this song has Lebron James and Kevin Durant, so I'm gonna be kind of rating both of their rap abilities. If one carries the other, that's gonna bump them up. All right, It Ain't Easy, LeBron James featuring Kevin Durant.
I bleed out, dedication, hard work, sacrifice, meditation. I meditate upon the...
Okay, I don't mean to interrupt him like this, but how the fuck could I turn on the captions and YouTube just says it's music? This whole thing is music.
Come and get me, I'm an animal, cutting through your brain like I'm...
I don't know if that was just some weird radio edit, but it sounded like he was about to do some type of comparison bar, but then it just straight bleeped right there. Let's run that back.
Cutting through your brain like I'm
assuming it's some reference to like Hannibal right there, because that's just what rhymes, and maybe that just didn't seem family friendly or radio friendly or something. I don't know why they would cut that out. It's very strange. Also, something very strange, my kitchen cabinets just swung open for no reason. They're not saying a whole lot. It seems like with athletes, they tend to use a lot of filler bars in their writing. I don't know. Like, it sounds rhythmically cool, but also isn't saying anything. So let's see if LeBron can help carry Kevin Durant on this one. For a second there, I thought that female vocal was LeBron James. I was just blown away for a second. I was like, that man has a deep-ass voice to be hitting notes like that.
Was a star from the baby bib, I had to make it out. No other option. No, ain't nothing in the world that I ain't copping. Yo, y'all already know what it is. Now let me just spread my wings.
So it's kind of the same case here with LeBron. It seems like a lot of these athletes are still stuck in the 90s. In this case, it just seems like he's using the same flow over and over, same rhyme scheme, no real change of pace or anything. And LeBron James was a little worse than Kobe, and Kevin Durant didn't really carry him to be better than Kobe in terms of rap skills, so we're gonna go ahead and place him C tier. I don't think he's god-awful. We haven't heard anything that's just atrocious yet. Placing him at a D tier would be a bit of disrespect. Again, Iverson, he's not a tile down here, but he's somewhere in between the two. Now we're gonna take a look, change of pace. Those first three people were NBA players. Now we got Macho Man Randy Savage.
Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulkster, whatever they call you, I'm coming after you.
Right off the bat, he sounds like straight up a crunk artist. Like, that's how he's coming onto the mic. I know that's what was banging in 2003, so kind of don't expect any less than that.
Doing telephone commercials, I seen ya. Dancing and tight, there's a ballerina.
Bro, I can't take this serious. I think this is our first D tier. I can't even get past 21 seconds of this without wanting to just pause it. Sorry, Randy Savage. Icon of some sort, I guess, but today you are a D tier rapper. Next up, we do have Floyd Mayweather, although I assume this new rap song was quite a while ago, considering this is below 144p. He hasn't really done anything yet that I would say would put him above LeBron James. I would say he's pretty equal so far. Delivery and flow is just as good. See, I know these guys don't represent all of 90s rap, but this type of thing right here is what bothers me, is when people say that 90s rap was so better and whatnot, when there's no way that 90s rap could have been better compared to something like Lil Pump, when the majority of hooks and choruses were just repeating the same thing over and over. Kobe stands strong as a solid beats here. He hasn't blown me away yet, but if nobody else does, he might have to get bumped up. All right, next we have John Cena. I can only imagine the type of hip-hop John Cena came out with. probably inspired by Eminem. Maybe it's because Eminem started to fall off in 2014. He thought maybe he could take that seat.
I'm still hot, knock your shell off. I'm honey stack fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise,
bro, he might actually be better than some of these NBA players. Yo, this is genuinely surprising me. His delivery is like 10 times better than I thought it could be. For John Cena, I couldn't expect him to write that. Maybe he didn't, but that's awfully surprising. That's gonna have to bump him next to Kobe. He's got variation. He had great punchlines. The beat wasn't super generic by any means. I mean, kind of corny to some extent. He can't take that spot from Kobe. Not for now. Maybe someone else can. John Cena, though, very surprising. Next, we have Deshaun Jackson.
A wise man once told me, the more you dream, a look that might come true. A heavy heart ain't got no choice.
Yo, this is the best mix so far.
I keep my hand on my gap.
Bro, right off the bat, this one feels the least corny. The mix is better, the production's a little bit better, everything's just clearer and crisper overall. Deshaun Jackson's got some good bars as well. Feels very, very conscious, but in a good way. All of it's very meaningful, not a ton of filler. This is a fire hook to accompany this. You've taken the cake, my man. Straight 8s here. I mean, like, you're not crazy. You're not Kendrick blowing my mind at the moment, but sheesh. Next, we have Chris Webber.
You know it's hard being me, being an executive, and still DP, still keep it burning, let the flame burn, young ass, still ain't learned.
It's just kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just the way that these early 90s basketball players did rap back in the day, it was just, I don't know, it's just as good as what LeBron is doing, maybe a little bit better. It just doesn't really stand out to me in particular. I mean, Corrupt is fire. I would still say he's ahead of LeBron James just by a little bit, so we're gonna give him that placement ahead of LeBron, but still C tier. And for this next one, Marquis Daniels, we had to travel across the internet, land our boat over on Vimeo, pretty much a deserted island at this point. Apparently that's the only place you can find Marquis Daniels. Right off the bat, dude, this is like the most creative music video out of all of them. They literally just replicated the GTA carjacking. Not a lot of substance to this music video.
I'm a red-nosed pig, you a reindeer.
He said, I'm a red-nosed pig, you're a reindeer. I don't get the reference that's trying to be made there, but personally, I think I would rather be the reindeer. You know, I think I'm starting to understand why this was so impossible to find. When I went to a YouTube link, it was just straight up privated, so I couldn't actually watch it on YouTube, and I had to find it through Vimeo. The whole song's trash. I think that's actually gonna go behind Randy Savage, and Randy Savage was a whole nother level of bad, so good old D tier. This next one is gonna be a little melancholy, because I know Delonte West is not doing particularly well right now. Let's see if maybe he can pull himself out of it with a successful rap career. This video feels interesting so far. Very home video-esque.
We sit in the KFC parking lot. Man, I just...
Bro, I can't believe that this man uploaded this. He just started it off with the flow that goes, "We chilling in the KFC parking lot." This is how your friends who have never rapped before in their life sound when they get drunk 6 beers deep at the party and they're like, let's freestyle, bro, because they heard that you dropped a song. I cannot get any deeper into this. He is straight D tier, back of the line, not gonna slide. Hope your life gets better, but rap is not gonna pull you out of it. Next, we have Troy Hudson. Whoa, okay. Should have held my breath for a second there. I cannot stand that hook style. The production is so good for the type of delivery and flow this man decided to pop on here with. Other people thought the same. Only 32 likes with 45,000 views. Dude, that's crazy. You would think a professional athlete would just be able to pull way more views and likes than that. This next one is Adrien Broner.
Take notes, these bitches
Lots
like
of ass.
right price, they selling it. At first she had a man, but I gave her a bit, and then her man was irrelevant. Louis V, belt buckle, Louis V,
Not gonna lie, this man is pretty good at hitting those triplet flows. They're a little complex, but he doesn't really expand upon them to be quite an S tier rapper. But I would say this is our second A tier. He's made it to A tier status. I thought there was gonna be more A tiers in the NBA, but a boxer coming in and taking that A tier, as well as a football player. We don't have any NBA players whatsoever at A tier. Next, we have Steven Jackson. I'm hoping that this one has a lot of meaning behind it. It is literally 7 minutes long. There's no way we're gonna finish that.
We don't understand.
I support the message heavy, don't get me wrong.
Is this a Staples Center or a plantation? Pickers running up that hardwood.
I don't know if he's saying basketball players are slaves, but they make a lot of money. I don't know if I can stand behind that comparison there. Staples Center or a plantation? Like,
next to his Lupita.
okay, I'm done. I think he, for the message, you know, it's very meaningful. I see why he made the song, but like, it's just kind of lacking musically. The message is great, don't get me wrong, but the message can only get you so far, and in this case, it brings you to a C tier. Next, we have Meek Mill featuring Lou Williams. I am kind of expecting Meek Mill to carry Lou Williams a little bit, but if it was today and this song came out, I would assume Meek Mill would be the one carrying. I would assume that's why he's on the song, but here it says Meek Mill featuring Lou Williams, so that makes me think Lou Williams does have a chance of actually carrying Meek Mill.
I can't sleep at night. I wake up, I say my prayers. Thank God I live my life. I'm in a Gran Turismo two-tone. Passengers a red bone. She's like the car cause she can never keep her top on.
I'm not like crazy about this type of production style. It's just dated, but like for this era, it kind of slaps, you know? Like, he's got a great delivery. The mix is good. Meek Mill has developed a lot. Meek Mill took away from this song. That just solidified this song as A tier song. There's no chance anymore, no revival due to what Meek Mill just did right there. Lou Williams coming through with the A tier. Although I'm gonna move you between Deshaun Jackson and Adrien Broner. I think that's a good fit for you. Next we have Ron Artest, which is really Mr. Meta World Peace himself. Meta World Peace is an interesting guy in that he changed his last name to Meta World Peace. No, he changed his whole name to Meta World Peace, but he was known as Ron Artest legally before. And then he changed it again in 2020 to Meta Sandiford Artest. I guess because he wanted to keep that last name. But what's crazy is changing your last name like that gives you world peace on your jersey. So that's pretty cool.
Gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the...
I could tell he was comfortable when he was actually making the song in the studio. His delivery sounds fine, sounds good, but the music video really takes away from the song. Artest himself here just looks very uncomfortable, like he's in just some random taxi filming this real quick.
Damn, only a champ swing the hardest in the...
Just doesn't feel very into it.
I'm so Cassius Clay, I'm Tyson in his prime, you little league with.
I'm just very surprised that this has 500,000 views and 5.2k likes when compared to some of these other artists that were also professional athletes. One of the most underrated tracks of all time. Oh, this is 5 years ago. Just pretty boring. I mean, for like 4 or 5 bars there, he was just straight up listing off things that he liked. You have earned yourself a solid. I would say he leads the pack on the D tiers, which their pack's coming out strong. Maybe if they combined all together, it could make a pretty decent track. Next up, we've got Damian Lillard, homegrown here in Portland, Oregon. I'm just a fan, bro. I can't lie. One of a kind, they know I'm the nigga that recognizes. I don't even want to interrupt this shit. This is fire. Right, before this becomes some weird love letter to Damian Lillard, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop him at S tier. Man is already a certified legend, and I don't like to throw that around super casually. He's got it. You got the right one. To tie it into the next guy that we're going to review, Shaquille O'Neal, they actually beefed, so I'm gonna go over their beef a little bit too and kind of factor that into both of their ratings. Maybe that would bring him a fighting chance to be an S tier. But
alone, now that's pressure. Mom's gotta go to work. Drop me off.
Just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Mama, I'm heavy.
You crying? Knock it off.
We stuck together. A year went by, and I could walk y'all.
I want to say first off, I couldn't help but notice that Shaq has got a reef tank. I've been known to dabble with a little bit of reefing myself, but overall, I think it's very, very obvious. The elephant in the room here is Shaq is heavily inspired by Tupac, without a doubt, but not quite the same level of lyrical ability to not make it sound corny in the same way that Tupac was able to pull it off. I think I've heard enough of this one. I think we could go ahead and place Shaq at a solid A tier.
5 minutes later.
I don't even know. Can Shumpert even have a chance in this regard? Who knows? We're gonna give Shumpert a chance.
In the off, so I'm pissed off, so you might not wanna fuck with me. You could just hop in the truck with me. Trouble when they got that buck with me. They got a watch on it, y'all ain't seen it yet, but when you finally do, you gon' fuck with me. I'm from when the footwork made you cool. The Wednesday Jordans, the latest cool. 3 parts in the haircut wasn't dope then, we just made it cool. Now I got
his flow is similar so far in these first 8 to however many bars that we've listened to, but he adds little variation and swing to it, so it kind of changes it up and it doesn't feel just like the same old boring thing over and over with the same exact syllables per bar in the same exact way that it's said with the same exact delivery like some of these other rappers keep doing. Does he have any other songs? Listen to all of his songs, he's pretty dope. Okay, so he certainly has other songs. Just based off of that, I mean, if that was his 2014 music, if he's still making music and he's done a bunch of other songs that are also just as good. What is this? Use of Nurkic? Why Iman Shumpert should drop his beef with Yusuf Nurkic? How do you have beef with the Bosnian Beast? All right, that seems pretty interesting. We're gonna have to watch that afterwards, but I need to find out if he's got other music. Okay, his video's already crazy.
This is a joyride.
I don't know if this COVID shit is a.
That's fire. He just came out with the Gangsta Girls beat tag right off the bat.
I don't know if this COVID shit is a higher power or hierarchy, but all trips is for gas stations and supermarkets. So fuck the virus. Your life's crisis creates attention, and since a child you sparked rage when you broke the silence.
This man is for sure a real artist. He's not just a professional athlete. He's got it as well.
I'm trying to find some shit to make a killing off, nigga. I swear we outside.
I don't need to listen to any more to just say right now this man is a rapper. He's got it. He knows what he's doing. And for that, Iman Shumpert is our second S tier candidate. I hope you guys agree with my choices in regards to the tier list. What would you change? What would you keep the same? Do you agree with my decisions?
Don't mind me, I'm not taking this serious. I'm just trying to have fun while I'm living experience. Just trying to find a point like I'm missing a period. Haters carry germs, but I'm antibacterial.